What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.
Opinionated, outspoken, informative. The Jaguar Journal. Your source for the latest information on Southern University sports and SWAC athletics. A Baton Rouge sports talk tradition.
All right, good morning to everybody out there, radio land. You feeling good over here this morning, huh?
Y'all call me. I'm always dancing, though. I'm not ashamed about it.
It is the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody. I am Perry White in the studio with my guest co-host, Miss Brandy B. Harris.
Hey.
Mrs. Let me see.
Upgrade.
Okay, excuse me.
I started as a guest.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm a guest host.
Uh-huh.
So just levels, upgrades.
You got to
moving
start
on up.
Moving on up.
Come
like
on,
George
the
and Weese.
Jeffersons.
You don't know nothing about the Jeffersons.
Yes, I do.
You
Come
watched
on.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
All right. What business did he own?
Don't make me lie. Cleaning business.
All right.
A cleaning business.
Cleaners.
Cleaners. Yes,
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
All right.
A janitorial business, wasn't I?
No, it's for clothes.
For clothes.
Yeah.
I was close. We're moving on up.
Okay.
To the deluxe apartment in the sky high.
Good morning to everybody out there listening. We'd love to have you. It's the Jaguar Journal. I'm Perry White. Good to have you guys with us. Running a little behind this morning. Had some technical difficulties here in the studio, but we got everything together. Shout out to Mike getting it together. Hey, when I'm talking about getting it done, he gets it done. So good morning to all our affiliates up there in Alexandria, down in New Orleans, everybody listening to us on YouTube. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. And everybody that's watching us on the Facebook Live, we love to have you guys continue supporting us as we move forward. Today's show is going to be action-packed, right? We got somebody for you the entire show. My guy Phil Smith is going to come on and talk to us about the upcoming Jagathon and the S Club. We're going to talk to Mark Gray. He's going to come talk to us out there in that D.C. area, right? Y'all know about that D.C. area. He's talked to us about the MEAC. It's basketball season. So with basketball season comes the tournament. It's March Madness. So we're going to figure out what's going on over in the MEAC. We're going to have Coach Carlos Funches, Southern University head women's basketball coach, as well as Coach Kevin Johnson, Southern University head men's basketball coach. Going to talk to us about the team's last game today. They're on the road in Huntsville, Alabama, taking on Alabama A&M. Of course, the SWAC basketball tournament will take place this upcoming week, start on Wednesday and roll through the weekend. And it's going to be interesting how things work itself out because seeding is on the line for both men and women's team. And then at 8:30, we're going to have Terrence Graves, Southern University head football coach, going to talk to us about the coaching staff. If you didn't see it yesterday, they big announcement.
They unveiled
the entire coaching staff yesterday with some nice additions. So Coach Graves will be able to talk to us about that and anything else. How you feeling this morning?
Coach Graves going in big time. He's going in 1-0 already. That's like we're going in as a head coach of the Southern University Jaguar football team. He's already going in with a winning record. So I think the expectations are going to be high from him. I'm excited to hear from him to see what he has to say about their announcement this week of all of their coaching staff changes. He's getting his people in line and in order for the upcoming season. And, of course, spring football right around the corner. We are right there.
That's it?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Get your pom-poms ready. All right, let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back. We'll have my guy Phil Smith talk to us about what's happening in Southern Athletics. Stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
Talk about offense, we talk about Southern, and it begins with their passing game.
Tom, beyond potent, we're talking about high octane, we're talking about fast break, we're talking about 41 points a game, some 500-plus yards since Terrence Levy has taken over this offense.
Because that young man doesn't drop any ball.
With the legacy that you started here, you got to feel happy to see it continue on with Doug Williams.
Ball now back at the 22-yard line. Levy, no pressure at all. Touchdown, Ingram. The Bayou Classic. Levy on a first and goal play. Throws a touchdown. Grambling comes with a blitz. Levy steps in the pocket. And his pass is caught. One-handed grab.
Sort of in the middle of the road of the SWAC, but immediately they jump on the Jackson State defense. And here's Levy rolling out. And the pass is caught. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Again throwing the football downfield. Oh, and his receiver, Hayes, makes the catch. See you later. Touchdown, Southern. If you're going to get, I got some free tickets. Look out for it, brother. Going downfield. Oh, and what a play by Southern.
Score. He's played a lot tougher ever since. And this is a free play for Southern.
2nd and 15.
It's a free play.
Levy completes his
It's
pass.
a free play.
Oh, and he's still up.
It's a free play.
Hayes. Hayes is going to continue running inside the 10, the 5. Unbelievable Michael Hayes. 3rd down. And 23 for a first. Levy over the middle. Nice pass that time. 2nd and 20. Levy doesn't have to get it all, but he's going to have to pick up some yards. Here he is throwing, nice catch made.
Receiver, Michael Hayes. There he goes.
Hayes makes the catch. Hayes still on his feet. Hayes looking for blocking. Hayes trying to find a hole. Hayes is still on his feet. He alley-oops. He's inside the 15 and drawn out a foul.
Touchdown.
Backfield. Plenty of time for Levy across the middle. Has his man at the 15. You know, I don't know if you want to break the spirit of Terrence Levy or not. Here he wings one wide open down the middle and a one-handed grab made.
The way. 3rd down in 4. And here's Lewis off the catch. Lewis still on his feet. And Lewis is streaking down the sideline. Touchdown. So they move back 5 yards. Levy on 3rd down. Looking down the sideline. Yes, sir. Big time player.
Guys stepping up like they're going to blitz. He really is going to start thinking.
Levy pump and go. Levy finds his receiver, Devin Lewis.
Good experience, a receiver experience for Hines.
How great is it to have a quarterback coach? Tipped ball is caught by Hayes. Michael Hayes has the speed. Hayes to the 10. Touchdown.
2 core passes today.
3rd and 4. Here is Guyen with the reception and the first down. Shakes one tackler. Still going inside the 30. Guyen to the 10 and dragged out of bounds. Down at the 15 for Southern. Terrence Levy waves it down the sideline for Hayes. Racehorse offense. Ian showing its first
All right, we're back. More to Jaguar Journal. We're going to keep things rocking and rolling this morning. I'm Perry White in the studio with Mrs. Brandy B. Harris.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Like that voice. If you don't know that voice, you hear it every morning on WBRZ, right?
That's right, on the Deuce. I call it the Deuce. This nickname has not caught on, but I'm going to make it catch on.
You making it hip?
We're gonna make it hip.
They not so hip yet, but you getting it hip, and I like that. Bring some flavor what they say, put a little seasoning.
A little salt to it. A little salt to it, a little sprinkle.
That's it. Let's keep things rolling this morning. We got a very special guest this morning here on the Jaguar Journal joining us. He is Southern University Director of Development and also the assistant golf coach, Mr. Phil Smith. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. Doing well.
Not too early for you, is it?
No, it's not. Actually, I have a busy household, so it's definitely not too early for me.
That's right. Y'all rocking and rolling. We'd love to hear that on a Saturday morning.
That's it.
All right. Well, you like Mr. Smith, Coach Smith? Are you the man of many hats? Where should I go with this?
Well, I tell you what, it's just good to be back in Jaguar land, enjoying my time there. We're excited to be back with a golf program at the university. Of course, I played there many moons ago, and to see the leadership, administration, foresight, and bringing golf back to Southern, we're excited about that. But there's a lot going on right now, and so we're excited to look forward to our Jagathon that's coming up on March 22nd. So we can start there.
Let's talk
about the Jagathon. Yeah, let's talk about it. What exactly is it? Paint a picture for people of what the Jagathon is and what the mission is.
Right. So each year we hear about it. The Jagathon is a day, but it's basically an annual appeal to the Jaguar Nation to support student athletes at Southern University. There are many ways that people can get involved. They can come in person to the F.G. Clark Activity Center and participate there. There's a virtual experience, live streaming, there are phone banks. And so in addition to that, if you donate over $100, you're invited to a VIP donor brunch that's sponsored by Ruby Slipper at the Mini Dome that day. So there are a lot of ways to get involved, but primarily it's built around supporting student athletes at Southern University.
Well, you got my attention, so you can support the athletes, and with a mere donation of $100, you can get some free food from Ruby Slipper. I'm down for that. That encourages me to make my donation. So what would be your message to folks about why they need to donate to the Jagathon and help support SU student athletics right now?
Well, there are a lot of ways to do that, but most importantly, you have to realize that today's world, when you think about student athletes and demanding schedules and the things that are involved in making sure that they are healthy, taking care of business in the classroom, there's so many areas that the general public you don't see on a daily basis. And so academic support is critical. And so with over 400 athletes at Southern University, each day, a good majority of those individuals are going to the academic center for 2 hours a day. You have to have personalized attention for those student athletes, and it takes resources to do that. Sports and nutrition. We understand healthy diets and eating habits, but what about recovery and being healthy and prepared for the day that you have ahead, not only for competition, but just the other things that happens in a given day of a student athlete. Sports medicine and travel, recruiting. It's not a day, again, with NILs and everything else, it's not a day where we can pick up the phone and recruit a kid across the country that has talent. We have to be able to be there. And so when all of these various activities are things that require additional resources, and that's what the Jagathon is leaning towards, doing that with this appeal that happens on March 22nd at the Mini Dome, or again, you can go online, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and find out how to get involved.
March 22nd, a very, very important day to make your donation to help support SU student athletes. And everything he just said, Perry, it costs money. So in order to support these students, you've got to open up your heart and your pocketbook and make that donation.
Yeah, you do definitely got to open up your heart and your pocketbook. And you know, a lot of folks out there, they like to open their mouth more than their pocketbook. So
come on now, you better preach on it.
Hey, come on.
Don't hurt no feelings this morning.
Well, look, it's early. They may not be listening because they sleep. They don't run their mouth a little later, but I'm running my mouth this morning. All right, open your pocketbooks and get the schools some money they needed, because those student athletes in which, you know, we put so much pressure on them and the coaches about winning games and going out and doing the best that they can to represent the institution, to represent us well because of our pride for the school. But you got to be able to give back to the school in order for things to function. And talking about function, let's jump over to the S Club, right? This is something that you guys have going on in athletics. Give the world out there that's listening what the S Club is and you guys function.
We're excited, again, about the S Club, and primarily the basic goal of that is to provide those same foundational resources for those 400-plus student athletes to help build champions, not only on the field of competition, but in the classroom and also in the community. So, we want to help to engage our current student athletes, former student athletes, to provide that support in the areas of, sports nutrition that I talked about, emotional well-being, academic support. And so the S Club is geared to do that. Historically, it has been an organization for former athletes, and we will continue to be that. But this year, and you'll hear more about this on April 13th, first day of the spring game with Coach Graves and the Jaguar football team. But we're expanding the S Club to include other individuals who want to participate and want to get involved at a certain level. And we've got some great things that are happening from a fan experience standpoint that they'll be able to participate in. And so the S Club is a continuation of what we're hearing about with the Jagathon, but it's an organization that's geared year-round to help support those student athletes.
When you look at the past, when you talk about the Jagathon, the S Club, what is a number out there, if you can throw an estimate that you guys are looking to raise so people can kind of have that way to gauge, or what do they need to bring to the table?
Well, I don't want to throw out a general number because it can be almost anything, but I can tell you this. we are expecting to raise over $100,000 or more on March 22nd, that day. For the year, our goal is, I'm going to say a lot more than that, and it's going to expand into some major projects and things that we have out there. You've probably heard about the soccer team and the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard a lot about other facilities and upgrades that we need. But again, in a conversation with Coach Graves just yesterday, we're talking about basic things like recovery from student athletes being able to come in, do their conditioning, recover, go to class, and be ready for practice again later on that day. So every aspect of a student athlete's experience is what we're looking to support. And so that's going to take, and I'm again not going to give you a specific number, but annually the S Club wants to raise millions of dollars to help support these student athletes.
Well, we all want to support the student athletes. Now I'm going to take a swing at another topic. I want to talk about golf. You see what I did there? I try to be good with the words.
Getting a Happy Gilmore on this morning.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jaguar Golf, because according to a report that I found, there were only a little more than 30 HBCU golf teams at all the HBCUs across the country. I think there was only one team that allowed women to play. So let's talk about bringing Jaguar Golf. Golf is already a sport that historically Black folks are underrepresented as far as the number of players, coaches, participants. Talk to me about why you want to bring Jaguar Golf back. What's the importance? What's going to be the message of seeing them out there, with their clean golf uniforms on?
Absolutely. I mean, not only, of course, are we going to be, we talk about raising funds for Jagathon and S Club. I'm going to touch on this and swing into golf. How you like that? But in the athletic department, there are over 1,200 uniforms that are required for these athletes to be able to participate in their respective sports. And so that requires resources, but the same thing for golf. Yes, they will be clean. They will represent Southern University well. We're excited about it. We have a group of well-represented individuals from across the world, in particular women's golf, with yesterday being International Women's Day. I'm excited to say that we have a player from Nairobi, Kenya on our team. We have a player from Trinidad and Tobago, of course, and we have players from Dallas, a local player, and also from California. And so having those student athletes to represent Southern University, represent themselves, is important. And what it requires, the discipline that it requires to play the game is basic and it's fundamental, but then to play it at a Division I level as well and represent the university around the country the way that we do is important not only to those student athletes, but it's important to Southern University as well.
Well, Mr. Coach Phil Smith, I don't know what to call you, Mr. Coach. You Mr.
Call
Coach.
me Phil. Call me Phil. Call me Phil.
Well, Phil, for out there, before we get ready to let you go, give the people one more time the information in terms of the Jagathon, the date, how can they follow, what all do they need, and give the information as well for the S Club.
Certainly. We'll do. Again, Jagathon, March 22nd. Very important to get involved. You can participate by coming in person to the F.G. Clark Activity Center. You can call in at 771-2436. You can text to give by texting SU Jags to 41444. There are a lot of ways to get involved in that. It's very critical that we kick off this annual appeal towards supporting our student athletes. And so we're hoping that everybody not only will participate, but tell your friends, challenge someone else to participate as well. And when you do that, you can then, through that Jagathon, get involved in all the various activities that we have in athletics. There's a gala that's coming up on August 23rd that was outstanding last year, so we're looking forward to that again. By supporting that gala, you're supporting those student athletes. You've got a campaign right now, the Graves Edition campaign, to support football, that will be going on tour with Coach Graves, coming to communities around the country to support this program. You've got the S Club that you can join. You hear more about that on April 13th. And so in today's world of NILs and everything else that are required, make sure you get involved. You can start that on March 22nd by coming to the Mini Dome and participate, meet the coaches. They'll be there to tell you more about their programs in person. But again, you can call in 771-2436 as well. And you can go online to Instagram, S Southern Sports, gojagsports.com, and get involved that day.
All right, that's the voice of Phil Smith, Southern University Director of Development, and also the assistant golf coach. Thank you for coming on this morning. It was good to have you.
Appreciate it. Thank you all. Have a great morning.
All right, let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back. We'll have my guy Mark Gray. Let's talk about some MEAC, SWAC basketball tournament. Everything is getting ready to get started on both sides. Swish, that's it. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
T.R. Ricks is a fifth-year senior who's getting his first chance to drive the train that Bob talked about. And right now, he's driving it quite well because the Southern Jaguars are kicking butt in the SWAC conference. As Bob mentioned, 6-0 overall in the SWAC, and T.R. Ricks has played so well, over 2,000 yards passing. In the last 3 games running the football, he's been over 100 yards on the ground. The respect factor that he gets from his teammates is incredible. As a fifth-year senior who's never started, they elected him captain. And the numbers he has put up are represented on your screen. 27 total touchdowns on the offense, a pass percentage of nearly 60%. He could be the SWAC Player of the Year on the offensive side.
And they're going to get a huge dose of the best offensive player in the SWAC, and that being Thomas Ricks.
And what Thomas Ricks has found a way to do is just beat defenses either with his arm, with his feet, or with his leadership capabilities, finding a way to win the games late with fourth-quarter comebacks. He showed versatility and athleticism. He's a tremendous athlete that knows how to win, most importantly.
He really is a leader both on and off the field.
I just think it has come to a maturity level. I have a 4-year-old son, and, when he was born, I had to grow up fast, and, just staying in school and practicing every day, trying to get better every day, just so he can have a better future. It's just been my inspiration. So, I just think that's my motor that drives me and, keeps me in the game.
His 4-year-old son, Collier, has not missed a game this season. They throw the football around in Rick's dorm room at Southern, and he says it's great playing football with Collier. 1st and 10. Ricks. He's got Vernon. Vernon makes the catch at the 45.
They can run the entire offense with all those guys in the game.
Ricks to Vernon. 1st down. Holmes in the backfield. Ricks. 1st down. Gage on the tackle, but not until Ricks picks up the 1st down. 2nd and 7. Ricks. Overstreet's got it. Across midfield. Ricks has a receiver downfield. It's caught for a touchdown. Territory. Ricks Fakes the pitch. Gets inside the 15.
He's in the type of young men that represent his philosophy in life and in football.
Ricks in a shotgun. He's going to run it out to the 10. And 2nd and 11 after the holding penalty. Sidearm toss. And a nice catch. Ricks on the 1st and 10. Little draw play. Takes it outside. He's got the first down.
But Ricks going to take it up the middle. On 2nd and goal and score the touchdown. Rise and it'll get cloudy again. And under the sun, Ricks on 2nd down and goal holds on to it for a 2nd touchdown run.
Get open and make play. So that's good ball distribution. That's also passing. They're going for some more, G.
And they do get it. Touchdown, Southern. 3rd and 22 to Tom. Ricks. Pretty ball. First down. Back like you said, Jay, after the penalty. The blitz.
All right, we are back. It is the Jaguar Journal. Let's keep things going, right? We got a couple minutes before we get to the top of the hour. We could not have this show go on without my guy, Mark Gray, calling in over from on the East Coast. Good morning, Mark.
What's the deal, P?
Good to have you. Hey, I got a guest co-host in here with me.
Good morning.
Mrs.
Good morning.
Brandon B. Harris. So you ain't just got to listen to this old man voice of mine, Mark.
It's not too early for you over there, is it?
Come on, man. I'm what is it, an hour ahead of you guys? It is great. It is it's dark, it's gray, but it's hoop season. I just got finished. I'm kind of enjoying a weekend of nothing after calling the CIAA last week. So it's a wonderful day.
Mark, we got about 8 minutes before we go to the top of the hour. I want to chop it up with you a little bit about MEAC basketball. Of course, when you look on the men and the women's side, it seems to be Norfolk State when you look at the MEAC. But conference tournament is starting this week, and we know because it's the month of March, they didn't coin the term March Madness for nothing. So talk about the MEAC and how things have shaped up throughout the regular season as we get ready to head into conference tournament.
It's funny that you bring Robert Jones' team up. You know, the Norfolk men won 11 in a row in the conference. They were 13-0 at home for the season. And when you in Norfolk, let me just tell you something, man. You ever heard that story about the team that if they don't win the game, they're gonna win the fight? Well, it's that intimidating type of environment in Norfolk. I mean, you know, they're playing maybe 3 miles away from their campus. To be quite frank with you, Valentine Boulevard is as dangerous as any strip in America as far as, you know, crime and all that kind of stuff is concerned. And they play hard-nosed. I'll use a Lenny Wilkins term from when I was covering the Hawks. They play French ball, grab-ass defense, and it is hard to beat them on the boards, man. And I mean that in deference to him. Robert Jones is a great coach. I think he's one of those people that can certainly step up to a mid-major and coach X and O with the best of them. But I think I can make that compelling argument for 2 other coaches in that league that you got to watch out for. One of them is Kenny Blakeney at Howard. He played at Duke. He went to the Final Four. He's beaten Norfolk in Norfolk to win the championship in the past. They're going to be a tough out. And then one of the great young minds in college coaching is Lavelle Moulton, who knows how to recruit. He's got a charismatic personality. And when the game is on the line, he may be the best tactical coach in a coach full of great tacticians, except for the one at Morgan State. And, you know...
I know that's your stomping grounds now.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, and I make no mistake about it. I'm a bleeding orange and blue apologist, but I will tell you this. I look at the talent that Kevin Brodus has had over the last 3 years. If Todd Bozeman had that same talent, Morgan would have won at least one MEAC championship. And I think that Morgan's problem is on the men's side, they got a great coach who knows how to bring the talent in, but he doesn't know how to push the buttons in big game situations. So I'm thinking that despite the fact that Norfolk was the most dominant team in the conference this year, hands down, and they should be a favorite, I would not be shocked to see either Central or Howard clip them on that road to the tournament.
You're talking about that road to the tournament, Mark? The road to the tournament. You got 3 teams right there in second place, all at 9-5. North Carolina Central, Howard, as well as South Carolina State. Morgan right there behind them at 7-7. Norfolk State at 11-3. Of course, they seem to be the best team. You look over on the women's side, though. We got about 4 minutes before we get to the top of the hour. And Norfolk women, so it seems basketball is running. If you're going to talk about trying to win the MEAC, it has to go through Norfolk, Virginia. Talk about Norfolk women and what they've been able to accomplish so far this year.
Again, it gets back to a coach being able to recruit extremely well, put his team in a position to win, and that's what you see is going on in Norfolk. But I know Norfolk has that history. It goes back to Dr. James SWAC, who's a legend in HBCU figures. I mean, for historical context, when Dr. Sweat was coaching the women, they were dominating the CIAA. His wife was an Olympic track and field coach. So that it's almost a rite of passage for Norfolk with their tradition to be in the mix. But Ty Grace has done an amazing job at Howard. Let's be clear. She rebuilt the program. She got back to the virtues of where they were. They're extremely well coached in terms of defense. Sometimes in their half-court set, they look like they are a little disjointed, and you're going to have to get better in the backcourt if you're going to beat Norfolk. Norfolk clearly the team to beat on both sides, Pete, but we got a bunch of tacticians over there, and Morgan's got one of the best at Ed Davis. So I'll favor Norfolk to win the women's side, but I wouldn't be shocked if they get clipped in the semis or the finals.
Mark, before we get ready to let you go and get to the top of the hour, you got to give me some March Madness in this MEAC tournament on both the men and the women. Norfolk seem to be the clear cut. On the men's side, who do you think can possibly get that upset and get out of there, and on the women's as well?
On the men's side, I think it's a toss-up between – I do like Howard. I think Howard is healthy and finally beginning to round into the form, so don't be shocked if Howard comes through there. It's hard to go against Lavelle Moulton, but on the men's side, I would think my dark horse, if you would be Howard. The dark horse on the women's side, I think if Ed Davis's team is healthy and locked in, certainly offensively. Defensively, you know what they're going to get. Morgan can get right there. I really believe of the two programs, I think Morgan is a dark horse that could really be playing a week from today for all the marbles, if they play consistent half-court offense, which is something that's been up and down all year.
Norfolk has some history of being in the tournament and March Madness. They upset Missouri a couple years back in that first round of the NCAA tournament. Mark, for everybody out there that want to follow you, give them the information where they can keep up with you on all social networks.
Follow us on Facebook on the HBCU Sports Nation. I'm on TikTok at The Sports Groove. And don't forget, man, hopefully we can talk about it. I'm an assistant manager editor for MLBBro.com. We cover Black American baseball as a partner for Major League Baseball. And there's some brothers that are now going to have an impact I can tell you about next season in HBCU. So check out the website. And there's a superstar coming out of the National Dream Academy who's going to A&T. And I'll have that story for you a little bit later on this week on the website.
That's the voice of my guy, legendary sportsman, Mark Gray. Mark, good to have you this morning, man. I appreciate you for coming on. And I'm definitely going to get you because it's baseball season about to ramp up.
It is, sir. Thanks a lot, bro.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Mark. All right. Miss Brandy B. Harris, we at the top of the hour.
Very top of the hour. Happy Saturday to everybody out there.
Got anything else for him?
Oh, well, we are looking forward to keep going with the next hour of the Jaguar Journal on this very busy Saturday morning. We're looking forward to a lot. We got information about the Jaguar-a-thon coming up on March 22nd. We heard about the Jaguar golf team. Now we're looking forward to MEAC basketball, and it sounds like Norfolk is the team with all the spice this season.
It's Norfolk and it's everybody else.
It's their season, and y'all are going to have to meet them at their level of play because the men and women's team, I'm looking at the records, the standings, they are the clear number one. So we are in the middle of March. We will see what happens as the conference tournaments get started in the next few days here.
All right, let's pay some bills. We'll come back, keep the conversation going. Have Southern University women's basketball coach Carlos Funches talk to us about the SWAC tournament and regular season. So y'all stay tuned more to Jaguar Journal.
Southern was a little late to the game of football. They had started earlier in the CIAA up at Hampton and those schools up there. And when J.S. Clark became president of Southern University in 1914, he had already visited Tuskegee and these Howard and the other schools, and they had a football program. And he wanted to compete with them, not just in the classroom, but also on the football field. So it started as an intramural. We had intramurals when we first came in 1914 through 1916-17, and then the intramural program evolved into the varsity, into the football program in 1918. Coach Big Charlie Holmes from Colorado State, he came here as an assistant coach, but he took over around 1922, 1923, and he did very well through the early 20s. But he came up to 26. He broke even. He was expected to do well. And 27, I don't find any records where he won any games there. And he was replaced. But the person he was replaced by was a legendary. Name is Bryce Union Taylor from University of Southern California. Out there, he had been an All-American. He was the guy that stopped the four horsemen of Notre Dame. And then he went to Chaffin University in South Carolina at 27. In 1928, he became the head football coach at Southern University and athletic director. And he really put Southern on the map. He had a lot of firsts. First of all, he had the first All-Americans we had came under him. Therefore, he had the greatest winning percentage in Southern University. He won 85% of his game here. And he had our first undefeated season in 1931 when he was 7-0, and but he was not declared national champ, but he was considered for that. But he was our first great coach during that early period, Bryce Union Taylor. We don't want to forget him. Arnett W. Mumford, he's a national icon in coaching. He had coached 10 years in Texas, Jarvis Christians, Bishop, and Texas College. But the last 5 or 6 years at Texas College, he was very, very outstanding. He won 2 SWAC titles, and he had won a national black championship at Texas College and 35. So therefore, Southern was interested in getting him here, and Dr. Felton Clark was very instrumental in the person to get him here. But his impact it goes much further than Southern University in the state of Louisiana. He won 12 SWAC titles, 10 of them at Southern and 2 at Texas College. And he won 5 or 6 national black championships. And also, he was very successful in the first interracial bowl game, the Fruit Bowl in San Francisco in 1948 when he played San Francisco State. And he won that game decisively. But his influence extended much further than the boundaries of Southern University. He was recognized nationally as a great coach. His winning record, he didn't coach over a period of 35 years, and a couple of those years they didn't have teams because of the war. But he won 246 games, second only to Eddie Robinson with his 402 game over 55 years, I should add. And so always had loyal supporters, and they would follow the team everywhere they would go in large numbers. So Southern became the team that everyone loves to beat. Loves every Saturday. It's the toughest game we have every Saturday. So if they don't win another game, they figure if they win the Southern game, they had a good season. And because we carry a large crowd with us everywhere we go too, so a lot of people like that. And we like to brag about how good we are. And of course that helps out. But it is a vista to the university, using the football athletics period to use that way to introduce the university to people who may not have known the university. Went through a period.
All right, we are back. More of the Jaguar Journal. Good morning to everybody out there listening. I'm Perry White, Mrs. Brandy B. Harris in the studio with me.
Good morning and happy Saturday to all of Jaguar land out there this morning.
Jaguars in the building. And we got the ultimate Jaguar. He's the head coach of Southern University women's basketball coach, my guy, Coach Carlos Funches. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How are you doing? Good morning, Brandy.
Good morning, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great.
trying to get this team together over in Alabama. Okay, Coach, we're going to run through it real quick. Just don't want to keep you too long. You guys were at home last week, took on Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M, getting victories in both of those games, 65-59 in overtime, hard-fought game against Bethune-Cookman. It didn't come back on Monday against the Rattlers of Florida A&M, 67-61. And then this week is unusual, a Thursday night game, because this week coming up starts the SWAC women's basketball tournament. We'll talk about that. You guys in Alabama now taking on Alabama A&M today. 61-49 victory over Alabama State. You guys shot 22 of 46 for 47% in that ball game. 3 of 11 from the three-point line and 14 of 25 from the free throw line, Coach. In that game, what did you like? Your team is now riding that 3-game winning streak. What do you like about this team as you get ready to wrap up regular season today with Alabama A&M?
Well, I thought we, like you said, won some hard-fought games. I mean, those games were not easy. Teams coming in playing for potential playoff, I say playoff tournament seedings and things like that. So I thought we did a great job closing games out. You know, the last couple of games we hadn't shot well from the free throw line. That's something we worked on a little bit yesterday, and hopefully we'll continue to get better. But it just showed a lot of poise going down the stretch and closing those games out.
Today's opponent with Alabama A&M is a team. They just lost to Grambling on Thursday, but they were riding a pretty good win streak coming into that ball game. They are a tough team, and they kind of found themselves as the SWAC tournament, as the SWAC conference season is going on. They present a challenge today for you guys, Coach.
I mean, they're extremely well coached. They're going to play hard, and they have a lot of good talent. So, you know, it's going to be a battle. It's senior day for them, so they're going to be fighting a little extra harder just to try to get a win for their seniors closing this season out. And they're also jockeying for position. You know, we're trying to hold on to that third spot. They're trying to hold on to trying to get to that fourth spot. So, you know, it's going to be a battle.
Then you're talking about the seeding. Let's start with the conference standing. Right, start at the bottom. Alabama State, who you took on Thursday, 3-14, tied right there with Mississippi Valley State. Texas Southern at 5-12, Bethune-Cookman 6-11. You look at 3 teams right there at 7-10, Florida A&M and Prairie View with Sandy Pugh, and as well as Alcorn. You go up beyond them, Alabama A&M, today's opponent, 7 games out of first place at 10-7. UAPB still trying to stay alive with Coach Don Thornton at 11-6 in conference play, 6 games out. Then it's you guys in that third place spot at 12-5. 5 games out, Grambling at 14-3, 3 games out, and then it's Jackson State and everybody else. Jackson State wrapping up their 5th consecutive regular season title. You guys are looking to hold on to that third spot. It's going to be tough when you have UAPB, Southern, and Alabama all fighting for that seeding to get to that tournament to make sure that they get in the top 4.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. You know, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I knew it was going to probably come down to this last game to see if we could hold on and get that third spot. But we're in a good position, and we control our own destiny. You know, it's not in anybody else's hands. So we're going to come out and compete hard and try to get this victory today.
Yeah, get another win. You already have a winning record. But, Coach, let me ask you this. We have been watching, not just for Southern Jaguars, but really for women's basketball as a whole, a lot of growth for the game, really pushing the game forward. I know in my time, wasn't seeing a lot of people pack the mini dome for games, and now folks are talking about Southern women's basketball. They're getting a lot of attention, and not just Southern, but all of the SWAC and women's teams. What has it been like for your team, for your players, pushing this game forward and putting Southern on the map as the women's basketball game gets a lot more attention?
Well, you know, locally, it's been great, especially the last year with LSU winning the national championship. I thought that helped our program as well and just created a lot of excitement in women's basketball. ESPN has been doing a great job of promoting women's basketball, airing a lot more games than they did in the past, and so has our conference. You know, the SWAC has a team with HBCU Go, and they've been doing a great job putting out a quality product, you know. So we just need to go out and keep competing and keep playing well, and I think the game will continue to grow.
And let me ask you this. So you ran through the stats. Perry ran us through the stats in the SWAC right now as y'all get ready for the SWAC tournament. So tell me, what is your message to the girls as they get ready for this game today and looking forward to the SWAC tournament?
Well, just to go out and play as one unit. You know, it's not just one player that's going to win a basketball game for us. It's going to be the entire team. If you've ever seen us play, we play at least 12 players every game. So it might be one person's night, and then the 2 days later it might be another person's night. So just play as a unit on both ends of the court, and you'll be successful.
And, Coach, I like the setup because last year I look at this team coming into after the regular season. Everybody was still high on Jackson State the same way that they are now. You guys go into the tournament and you knock off Jackson State in the semifinal, then make it to the championship game, and then you take on UAPB. It was UAPB's first time ever playing in a SWAC basketball championship on the women's side. And you guys in a hard-fought game then get past them and go to the NCAA tournament. What did you say last year? And then when you compare the two teams of last year and this year, do you still see the same focus, or what is it a difference of this team compared to last?
Well, we lost two experienced players last year. Ty Metcalf, our point guard, and Money McWayne, who was the tournament MVP. Both of those young ladies brought a wealth of experience to our team. But we have been continuing to grow this year. And the last few games, I've seen a lot of growth as far as us being able to execute and make decisions and do the right things on the court when it was necessary.
Talking about when things are necessary this time of the year. It's March
only
Madness.
Necessary, yeah. Anything that happens from here is what determines the future.
That's right. No slip up. No slip up.
I'm excited, Coach. And real quick, I know you guys, you've been focused on the games that's in front of you and, of course, getting ready for the SWAC. But have you had an opportunity to look over in the MEAC a little bit and see Norfolk women and what they've been able to do?
No, we were supposed to play them in Atlanta this year.
Really?
Postponed the challenge until next year. I think it was a SWAC MEAC challenge the conference was trying to set up. They postponed it. I think we're going to do it this coming year. So, but I've kind of kept up with them. I haven't watched them play, but I've looked at the standings and things, and I know they've been doing a great job.
Yeah, they are. Right now, they're leading the way. We have my guy Mark Gray, Norfolk, on both the men and the women's side. All right, now because you have this break after today until about Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where the seeding is for the SWAC tournament to start, what do you do to keep your team loose, focused, and ready to go once you start to talk about running that 3-game stretch to get to a championship?
Well, we're going to have some much-needed rest tomorrow, so we'll give them the day off. They'll probably go watch a movie. We'll go down to Birmingham after we play today and just relax a little bit and start getting focused Monday on whoever our opponents are going to be. So we'll know probably tonight who we will be playing. Like you said, we don't know if it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's probably going to be Thursday, but we'll stay in Birmingham. We won't be coming back to Baton Rouge.
Well, that's going to save y'all some time. They'll definitely be able to rest. So what are your expectations for them on those days off between this game today at 2 o'clock and the next game next week?
Well, just to focus really on us the first couple of days, Monday and Tuesday, and then if we're playing Thursday, Wednesday, we'll start focusing in on our opponent more so than anything. And like I said, just continue to get better as a unit. And don't worry about the end result. Just worry about the process, doing the correct things on the court, from boxing out to, being in the right position, rotating wide defensively. And, just the little things like that can win or lose a basketball game.
Well, Coach, I want to say thank you for coming on this morning. I know you got to get your team prepared. It's going to be a tough game against Alabama A&M today. Tip-off at 2 o'clock. You guys are battling for that seeding for the SWAC tournament, so it's good to have you on, Coach, and talk some SWAC with basketball, women's basketball, as well as Southern. And, as always, Coach, we wish you all the best, especially not only for today's game, but by the time I talk to you next week, things are going to probably be March Madness. I don't know.
We'll be deep in the thick of it.
Yeah, a lot can change between this conversation now and next Saturday. And I hope next Saturday I'm probably on the road headed to Birmingham, Alabama.
All right.
We sending you all the good vibes, Coach. Sending you and the ladies all the good juju as y'all play that game today and get ready for the conference tourney.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Perry. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Take care.
All right. That was Coach Carlos Funches, Southern University head women's basketball. Coach, what you think?
I'm going to give them, we're looking forward to see what happens today at 2 o'clock, but we were just saying in the commercial break, everything kind of starts over in the postseason. So we want to see what happens when they start the tournament play, and hopefully you're going to be there live, hopefully.
I hope so. I went last year when they made it to the championship game and they played UAPB. And, of course, I'm from Pine Bluff. and I said Southern and UAPB playing for a championship.
You got to be there. You got to be there.
Give us a recap. You got the scores right there of Southern's last 3 games.
So Southern's last 3 games, they beat out Alabama State on Thursday, 61-49, the final in that. And then they played FAMU last Monday, 67-61 there. And Bethune-Cookman, 65-59 last week. They went into overtime last Saturday. So we're going to hope that today at 2 o'clock with Alabama A&M, we're not going in overtime. We're handling things in the regular parts of the game.
What they say, I can't stand old Bulldog from Alabama.
We're not going to do like that, but we are excited to see the ladies going to come home with the win, or they're going to stay in Alabama with the win today after they play Alabama.
See, that's why it's good to have Miss Brandy B. Harris. She has some class. We're not going to be like, Perry going to be like that, all right? This is our show. I'm going to be like that. Look, I ain't studying no Bulldog from Alabama because the seeding is on the line. There's a lot of no seeding matter because where you at in that conference tournament ultimately determine. Listen, you just kind of really at this point want to stay away from Jackson State. But then at the same time, we're not scared of them either.
We want to take them on as well. We want to take them on as well. But we want to stay rested up. We want to make sure that whenever we play that first game, I think he said they're looking at Friday. Thursday. Yep. First game will be on Thursday. So we're definitely looking forward to see who they will have to face.
Let's see who they will face. And today they're going to face Alabama A&M at 2 o'clock. Let's get ready to take a break. On the other side, we'll have Coach Kevin Johnson, Southern University head men's basketball coach, give us a recap of the season and, well, their outlook on the SWAC tournament. Be back more to Jaguar Journal.
Darius Skelton has really had this wave of momentum for Southern.
Yeah, first-year player in this program. I love his decision-making. He makes quick decisions, particularly when running the run-pass option game. That's his specialty. He's been an impact for this offense since he took over as starting quarterback.
Well, Darius Skelton is a dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the football. He's very good at throwing the ball down the field. We're going to work on this spring those intermediate passes, but down the field, he's one of the better down the field passes that I've seen.
Play action, Skelton going for it all, has a man, and hauling it in is Hunter Register.
And then when you talk about running ability, he has running back capabilities. He can go the distance. He has the speed to go the distance. He has the power, and he has the vision. And I think when you put that with a dual threat quarterback, I think he's the reason why we're so happy about this coming season.
Skelton feeling the pressure. Skelton eludes a couple of tacklers. He's still on his feet. Oh my! Little shake and bake juke move, baby.
Being a quarterback, man, it's not easy at all. It was hard being here and having the expectations to be the starter and not being the starter. It was overwhelming. Like, I was ready to play, and not playing when I was ready to play just made me kind of look at life differently and really think, should I be here or should I not? And I talked to God, and he just settled me down, and he told me to be patient. That's what I did.
Skelton, who started the last 6 games of 2018 for the Jaguars. They went 5-1. Their only loss to Alcorn State in the SWAC title game. Taking the jet sweep, and Skelton awfully good with his leg. Blitz. Register, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Nice grab. All who have had an impact here in the year lowing. Southern still. Skelton comes up for the 3rd time. Taking the jet sweep, he'll keep it. A good lead block as he cuts it to the outside. The fake to Ben. Skelton will run. And dragging with them for a few yards. There he is. The time, stepping up into the end zone, has Register. Flag down, catch made, touchdown, and it's actually first quarter yards. Southern 121, McNair 40. Fresh set of downs as we begin the second quarter, and looking deep, Skelton for Register.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3. All right, we are back. Good morning to everybody out there. I'm Perry White. Of course, Miss Brandy B. Harris. She's a busy lady. She had to go over to the studio. She's hosting the morning show on WBRZ this morning, so thank her for coming in. She'll be back next week as she continues to guest host with me. I hope you guys like to have that extra voice in here and not just my old voice that y'all been hearing every day for the past, whatever, how many ever long it's been. Let's keep things rolling. One thing, Coach Carlos Funches is coming on, but now let's keep it going with men's basketball. My guy, Coach KJ, Coach Kevin Johnson. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry.
I know you on a very strict schedule this morning, so I won't hold you too long because I want to stay in your good graces, Coach. Let's talk about the team over in Alabama. You guys took on Alabama State on Thursday, Alabama A&M today. But most importantly, before we get into that, I've seen on the social media that you took your basketball team over to Selma, Alabama. I always like when you take a team and show them history. Talk about that and that experience that you were able to share with those guys.
Well, that was important for me to do. There's a lot of those guys that weren't familiar with the civil rights movement, although I felt like they should be something that they should be taught in school. And the significant event that happened there, Bloody Sunday, at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge, I wanted them to have some knowledge of that event and to be able to appreciate that there was a struggle long before they became college basketball players. So it ended up being a real nice day for us and a good piece of history.
You guys get the victory over in Montgomery, 65-57 on Thursday over Alabama State. Today you close out regular season against Alabama A&M, a team that's 9-21 overall. You guys are fighting for those seeding. It's important in today's ball game because you're looking at seeding going into the SWAC tournament. Let's talk about the recap of the regular season and getting your team prepared for the tournament this week, Coach.
You know, it's been a long season, and this team has really been able to grow and accomplish a lot of things together. But my thoughts are the same as they were last week with you, Perry, and the week before. The process is ongoing, and we just want to be better every game.
Talking about being better every game, you look for the SWAC tournament this week, starts Wednesday and Thursday. You guys are going to stay in Alabama during that time. What are you going to do with your team to kind of keep them focused, but also get a chance to relax to get ready for that tournament? Because 3 games is all you have now after today.
Well, Perry, I'm not even looking that far ahead. It's about this game today. The game has moved up a little bit earlier, so my schedule has moved up earlier.
Yes, sir.
Tip-off is at 4. And this game has so much bearing on seeding as well as some others in the league. And so we need to try to get this game today so we can get the best seed, and then we'll talk about that tournament.
Yes, sir. Well, won't hold you too much longer. I know you guys got meetings and got practice. So, Coach, I want to say thank you for coming on this morning, man. Congratulations to you guys as you've made it through a pretty tough season. You turned some heads throughout the regular season, and they're going to continue to turn some heads because they don't call it March Madness for nothing. There's a reason that it comes to that, because who you think are the favorites sometimes don't clearly turn out to be the favorites. So good luck to you guys.
One thing for sure. Thanks, Barry. It's going to unfold shortly. Thanks for having me.
All right, that was Coach Kevin Johnson, Southern University head men's basketball coach, everybody. Let's go back to last Saturday. Southern took on Bethune-Cookman. You remember I've been telling you guys throughout the entire season, looking at Bethune-Cookman, I think they are a team that can beat anybody at any given time. And guess what? They came into Baton Rouge, and they did that. Got a 6-point victory over Southern, 67-61 in that ball game. Southern shot 22 of 49 for 44%, 3 of 15 from the three-point line, and 14 of 25 from the free throw line. Southern bounced back on Monday, getting a victory over Florida A&M, 58-44, 23 of 56, shooting for 41% in that game for the Jaguars. 7 of 16 from the three-point line and 5 of 11 from the free throw line for Southern. Then, as I said, unusual because you have SWAC tournament coming up this week. A Thursday night matchup. Southern then travels over to Alabama, takes on Alabama State in Montgomery, Alabama, the battle of the capital cities, right? Southern gets the victory, 65-57. The Jaguars shoot 22 of 48 for 45%, 11 of 21 from the three-point line, and 10 of 12 from the free throw line. And then today's opponent with Alabama A&M should be a good one when you look at Southern. Let's look at the SWAC standings, right? Starting at the bottom, Mississippi Valley sitting there with their lonely win on the season against Prairie View, 1-16. Florida A&M at 4-13. You have Prairie View at 5-12. Alabama State at 7-10. 2 teams all right there at 8-9, that is UAPB, who lost a close one to Jackson State and Alabama A&M, today's opponent, 6 games out of first place. Right above them, Jackson State and Bethune-Cookman, both tied at 10-7 in conference play, 4 games out of first place. And then you have the top 4 the way that it looks now. Texas Southern, 11-6 in conference play. They're 3 games out. And then 2 teams tied right now at second place at 12-5. That is Southern and Alcorn, both teams 2 games out of first place. And then Grambling State right there at 14-3. Grambling being crowned the SWAC regular season men's champion. It's going to be a tough game today. Southern needs this victory, especially when you look at Alcorn. Alcorn currently riding an 8-game win streak. If you ask me about hot teams in the conference, somewhere listening, the big bad Braves of Alcorn are rolling right now. And remember, Southern went on the road to the reservation and squeaked out of there with a 1-point victory. So when you look at these teams, and that's why today's games are so important, because you're starting to talk about seeding going into the SWAC tournament, especially when you got 2 teams that's sitting right there at 12-5, Texas Southern at 11-6. This thing can jumble up from 3, 2, and 4 real quick of those top teams. But at the same time, you look at Bethune-Cookman, they are a tough out anytime you have to play them. Jackson State has battled themselves back into it. And you're talking about the top 8 teams. So let's see. Grambling, Southern, Alcorn, Texas Southern, that's 4. Bethune, Jackson, Alabama, UAPB, that's 4. And UAPB is battling, trying to find themselves. They're right there on the cusp. They may miss it or they may get in. They need some things to go on today to help them to get into that last one, that last piece to get into that tournament. So it's going to be interesting. And let's look at games around the conference today, because you got some big matchups. Prairie View versus Texas Southern. Mississippi Valley versus Jackson State, which that game is going to be broadcast on HBCU Go. Yeah, UAPB versus Alcorn. If UAPB loses that, they're probably going to be out of the SWAC basketball tournament because they just took a loss to Jackson State on Thursday. Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M with that rivalry circle. Grambling with Alabama State, and as well as Southern with Alabama A&M. Things are starting to shape up and starting to look real, real good, if you're going to ask me, for Southern, because sitting in that second place spot. Southern, for me, when I look at this ball club, and of course, without Terrion Joseph on the squad, and I think that's what they've been needing to get over that hump. You get Joseph back on this squad on the back end with those games that they lost on that 3-game slid, Southern wins those games. But Southern still has an opportunity on the men's side to fulfill those games with W's. You know what? Free throw shooting. Free throw shooting. I'm going to say it again. Free throws. They have been costly when the game mattered late in second halves. And doing that 3-game skid with Southern, they went into halftime of all of those games winning. And you know what happened? They came out of halftime and gave away the lead. That was to Texas Southern on the road. That was to Grambling at home and Bethune-Cookman at home. Now, they get swept on the season by Grambling and Bethune-Cookman. They go to Grambling and come back here. Grambling gets both victories. They go to Bethune-Cookman and then come back here, and Bethune-Cookman gets both victories. Now, they split with Texas Southern, and they got their one with Alcorn. But Southern, if they're going to want to make a push, because Joseph is not going to be available for this team, free throws are going to matter in the second half, late in the second half. Southern is going to have to be consistent in its shooting and not take so many bad shots. Got to give your big man down low an opportunity to get you a rebound and get you another look at the basket instead of running back up the floor because you missed a shot. And watching this ball club, second halves have completely just gotten away from them after going into halftime winning. So they're going to have to find a way to continue that momentum. A dominant first half team, right? Play some of the best basketball. But in the second half, continuously allowing those leads. If this team wants to be SWAC champions, they're going to have to finish just as great and good as they started. And for me to finish games strong, defense and free throw shooting. You don't have to force a shot. You don't have to take an ill-advised shot. That's what I've been noticing with this team in the second half, and that's where they've allowed the game to get away and allowed the opponent to go on a run, and before you know it, you'll chip away a 14-point lead, and it's a swing, and now the other team up by 2. You get to the foul line, 2 shots to tie it up. You miss both or make one. The other team goes back, and then they slowly but surely start tapping away, and now they're taking the lead. And when you get this team down, you don't want this Southern men's basketball team in crunch time where the game is on. This team with a minute left, a minute and a half, need to already kind of have that game where they can go to the free throw line and pretty much solidify and win this game. And that's why free throws are going to have to be so important. And the bigs are going to have to play really well. Reynolds, Moan, Brente. Those guys are going to have to be rebound machines because this team likes to jack up a lot of threes and they like to force. You look at Tejan Damasi. He likes to force his way to the basket, right? He's a physical basketball player. But because of that physicality, we've also seen the turnovers that come from that as well. Brandon Davis, hands down, is the best shooter on this team. He is a HBCU All-Star watch list candidate. He's a guy that has game. You look at Drayshawn Allen, he has been big on the three-point shooting, but has not quite been consistent coming off the bench. And this team is going to really have to find a way to get it done. Starting with Alabama A&M today, and then the SWAC tournament, the seeding is on the line, and a lot can change between today and next Saturday when we're talking. Hopefully next Saturday, I'm hopefully on the road or somewhere headed to Birmingham if we make it to the championship. When we make it to the championship, let's speak it into existence, all right? Let's get ready to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to have Southern University head football coach Terrence Graves. Southern unveiled its complete coaching staff, and some interesting names will be joining the staff this spring. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. More to Jaguar Journal.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
For the first time in the 79-year history of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Elite Championship game determines the overall champion today. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the champions of the East, Jackson State, taking on Southern, the champs from the West. Hello, everybody. George Johnson along with Charles Mann. And I got to tell you, a great poet once said this is the way it's supposed to be. And it is. Number 11 Southern taking on number 15 Jackson State. Both programs have won 3 SWAC titles over the decade. So it's only fitting in the first SWAC championship game we determine the program of the decade. We've got a lot of offense out on the field. And yet this guy right here, he's going to tell you this game's all about D.
It's always all about D.
It's On the Yard Sports, and I'm Perry White, and what I need for you to do is go follow and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter right now.
For the first time in the 79-year history of the Southwestern Athletic Conference Elite Championship game determines the overall champion today. Live from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, it's the champions of the East, Jackson State, taking on Southern, the champs from the West. Hello, everybody. George Johnson along with Charles Mann. And I got to tell you, a great poet once said this is the way it's supposed to be. And it is. Number 11 Southern taking on number 15 Jackson State. Both programs have won 3 SWAC titles over the decade. So it's only fitting in the first SWAC championship game we determine the program of the decade. We've got a lot of offense out on the field. And yet this guy right here, he's going to tell you this game's all about D.
It's always all about D, George. You know that. It's always all about D.
An all-pro defensive end is going to tell you that. When you think about Jackson State, this is a team that is very potent offensively, but defensively they've led the SWAC throughout most of the year, and they've got the best player in defense in the SWAC, and that's Tommy Head.
Tommy Head. Get used to saying that name. You'll say it all day. He'll be all over the field. He's always around the football. He's the leading tackler on this team. He also has 5.5 sacks.
At one point this year, Southern led the nation in scoring defense. Then they ran into Florida A&M. They got a lot of guys out there that can get it done, but at the top of the list is DeMarcus Miller.
DeMarcus Miller, the linebacker coach, Terrence Graves, told me there's one word to describe this kid, and that is relentless. He's only 5'10", 285 pounds. He makes a lot of plays, though.
Relentless, appropriate word for our third member of the broadcast team, and that's Joe Clare, who's standing by down on the sideline. Joe?
Yes, indeed. I'm down here on the field capturing all the pageantry and revelry that is black college football. Birmingham, Alabama is a lovely city. This is the inaugural SWAC championship in their city, so they came out to have a good time. I will be covering the bands, the cheerleaders, shout-outs, all of that kind of stuff. Back to you guys up top.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, we are back. Good morning to everybody. I'm Perry White. Thank you guys for tuning in bright and early this morning. Miss Brandy B. Harris had to dip off. She had to get over there to WBRZ as she's hosting a 9 o'clock morning show. So you be sure to tune over. Once we get done, tune over to WBRZ and check her out as she give you the morning news of what's going on around in the Baton Rouge area. Good morning to all our affiliates listening up there in Alexandria, Louisiana, down in New Orleans, right here in the Baton Rouge capital city area, and everywhere else across the world in which you find us on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button as well as on our Facebook Live. And very special guest this morning. He's not new to the show, but we love to have him anytime he's available. And that's Southern University head football coach, Coach Terrence Graves. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry. How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Well, of course, the big news come out yesterday, Coach. I saw it come out, and I said, man, I had to call or text him right then. I know you're a busy guy, but I appreciate you getting back with me. You have officially announced your coaching staff. And, Coach, I said no better person to talk about his staff than the man that hired everybody. So starting from yourself and then working your way down, let's go from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball. Give us a rundown of your coaches, your coordinators, and your position coaches offensively.
Well, first on the offensive side of the ball, offensive coordinator is Mark Frederick. He will also coach the running backs. He's a Southern University. He's a former player, coach. He's an alum. So he's back. So he'll be our offensive coordinator. Our quarterbacks coach will be Coach Willie Titan. Everybody's familiar with Coach Titan. Coach Titan was on the staff last year as well, coaching in the same capacity. Don't have to do a long, drawn-out bio on Coach Titan because everybody knows who the satellite is. Then we have Coach Fred McNair, who, same thing, great man, great person, like all of them. He was the former head coach at Alcorn State. He will coach our tight ends. Damon Nivens, another Southern University alum, All-American, great here. He's coached a number of years. He'll be in charge of our offensive line. Wide receivers coach will be Coach Quentin Burrell. Coach Burrell is the great-grandson of the legendary Coach Eddie G. Robinson Sr. Been coaching with Coach Burrell since 2016, so we had an opportunity to retain him as well. And then we move on to the defensive side of the ball. Coach Henry Miller will be our defensive coordinator again. Coach Miller and I coached here at Southern back in the early 2000s and flipped roles, and he's done a fantastic job. So he'll be the coordinator as well as coaching the corners and the nickels. And then Coach Everett Todd, who was the defensive coordinator at Grambling when we were together. We coached 8 years together. He was the defensive coordinator at Texas Southern last year. And Coach Todd also is the first black head coach in the Texas junior college system. So he's from Texas, has a wealth of knowledge, had an opportunity to bring him on, and he'll be our special teams coordinator and coach defensive ends. Coach DeMarcus Miller will coach the defensive tackles. He played here. Of course, he's an Hall of Famer here at Southern University, our own SWAC guy, best player at black college football at one time. So he's no stranger. And then we have Coach Sean Wallace, another Southern University great, a legendary SWAC guy, a player of the year. He will coach the safeties. And then another SWAC great, Chris Scott, who still, I believe, the all-time leading tackler here at Southern University. He will coach the linebackers for us. And then Joe McWilliams will be our defensive graduate assistant, and Caleb Williams will be our student assistant. And then, of course, our strength coach is Randall Moore. Coaches come in. He's coming in from Dell State, although he's coached at Hampton, Norfolk State, Mississippi Valley, Shorter, a few other places. And he's done a tremendous job with those guys upon being here. And then, of course, Ricky Jackson is our DFO and Director of Football Operations and Recruiting Coordinator.
is the people would say, coaches, you don't even sound like you got an all-star cast of coaches. You come in, getting the opportunity here at Southern to be the head coach, and then you put together this wealth of guys that with the knowledge and the experience. But I got to go here. You have two former SWAC head football coaches in Coach Willie Tyden, of course, who coached at his alma mater at Mississippi Valley, and then with Fred McNair, who coached at his alma mater at Alcorn State. When you look at those guys and the knowledge and the experience that they have for you, what is that going to be like to have them in the room for you, Coach?
Oh, it's a blessing. To be able, well, one thing, Perry, people have to understand relationships matter.
Mm-hmm.
And we established relationships in this profession years and years ago. And a lot of times when you have relationships, you always, especially good relationships, you always think about the possibilities of if we ever get a chance to coach together, how would that look? And you never know how it's going to look. Of course, naturally you say, okay, well, because those guys are older, if they had an opportunity, and we've had those conversations, if the opportunity presents itself, then I want you to come and be my whatever, or vice versa. So when to have that opportunity to have two great people, and they're great people, and I can't stress that enough. And then they're also really great football coaches and great football minds. To be able to sit and talk with them and pull on them and ask them questions and bounce things off of their head, ideas off the wall, and say, hey, how did you handle this situation? Or tell me what you think about this. I'm looking at this. I want to do things this way. Are you familiar with this? Are you familiar with that? Or tell me some things that you did. And then for them to be able to pour into me or to help me, it helps the overall program, and it's not just me, but it helps all the coaches. And then the key to it is when you look at the staff and having these type of men on the staff, number one, all of them are champions. Every coach on the staff has won championships. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is I wanted to build a staff that would give our players the greatest student-athlete experience that we can have here at Southern University. So they're going to learn, they're going to develop, and they're going to grow by great men. So that was the focus and the goal of putting these guys together.
As you start to want to build an identity of a Coach Terrence Gray's football team here at Southern University, what do you want that identity to look like offensively as well as defensively?
Well, everything starts with discipline. We're going to be a disciplined football team all across the board. And we're going to be physical. We're going to be physical because we play a collision sport. We don't play a contact sport. We play a collision sport. So we're going to be physical. We're going to be fast. We're going to be exciting and fun. I think that's a lot of times, sometimes that's missed in this game that we love and we call football. We're going to have fun. The players are going to have fun doing what we do, and it's going to be exciting because the offensive staff is meeting and doing a great job of implementing what they're going to do, and then the defensive staff is doing a great job of implementing what they're going to do and adding some tweaks. And then, of course, in the kicking game, we'll be exciting there as well. So we'll be disciplined, we'll be fast, we'll be physical, and we'll have fun. We'll have fun.
Well, I want to have fun watching you guys, and I know the people out there that's listening want to have fun because they cannot wait to get them pom-poms ready and get there on a Saturday to watch this team play. First game is going to be over at McNair in Lake Charles. But I got to ask you, Coach, what was that conversation? How did this whole thing start with Fred McNair? Jim Kleinpeter and I had talked about it. Even when you were looking for an offensive coordinator, and Jim kind of threw that out there, but of course you went with Mark Frederick. But then ultimately, and I have a lot of respect for Fred McNair. I am one to get on the record and say I have a lot of respect for him as a head coach. But just how did that even begin, and how did that go for him ultimately to get here with you, Coach?
Well, the funny part, of course, Fred and I know one another for years. We recruited in the same areas. Again, relationships matter. So when the whole thing was going on with him, didn't know. And then, so Mark is actually the Mark is actually the middle ground guy for everything because I sat and he and I were talking one day, and I asked him, I said, do you think Fred would want to come and coach with us? And he said, you know what? Let me call him. So he said, I'm going to call Mac. And so he called him. And so Mac called me, and we talked. And he said, Coach, he said, I got some other things. Going. He said, but don't count me out. He said, man, I love to come up there with you guys if the opportunity presents itself. And he said, but, I got some other things going, so but don't count me out. So I said, okay, cool. So, I was in a meeting. I was in a head coach's meeting, and I get a text from him and saying, Coach, don't forget about me. And I said, all right. I said, matter of fact, I'm going to call you later when I get out this meeting. He said, okay, looking forward to it. So we talked, and I told him what was, what the deal was. And he and Mark talked because they have a great relationship as well. They've always had a great relationship. And so they talked, and then Mark told me, what they had come up with. And I said, I'm fine. And then I called him, and we started getting the ball rolling. And he got here last week, I believe it was. He got here last week. And, no, I'm sorry, he got here this week. I mean, weeks are running together. So we got here this weekend and this past weekend. And so got everything going and got him in the boat, and we've been hit the ground running. And the first day we got out there in conditioning, he was out there, getting them going, fired up, and as everybody does. So, I mean, he fit right in, and, it's been great. It's been great with him. Coach Todd's the same way. Of course, Coach Moore is our strength coach, so he's got those guys. He's really doing a great job with those guys. So it's been good. You know what's going to really be good, Coach? Homecoming against Alcorn State this year. Come on, tell me you don't feel that electricity already. I love it, Coach. I love it. Listen, I get it. I get it. Lord knows I get it. But, I'm trying to, first of all, we got to get through spring ball, make sure these guys know what they're doing. And then the first game is McNair. Trust me, I get it. And it's not coach speak. Those games are, I'm not going to ever be one of those coaches who sit there and say, oh, well, we just got to focus on McNair. The old cliche, you got to focus on the first game of the season, which we are and we will. But when you look at the schedule, you get excited. It's certain games that you get fired up for, and certainly that's one of the games. All of them actually, but some games have a little more spice to it all. So that's going to be interesting, in this proper time and place. But knowing Coach Mack, the way that he is, that's not even, he's not even going to lean on that, and he's not even going to allow that to be him be a focal point of that. So it's going to be what it's going to be. But certainly for the fans and the atmosphere and everything, and it's going to be electric, and it's going to be one for the books. Excuse me. It's going to be exciting. So definitely, you're correct on that. Well, Coach, I thank you for coming on this morning. We wanted to put that information out there. I was excited when I saw it, man, and I think this is a great style. It then gives, I think, that extra excitement to the fan base as we're getting ready to get into this 2024 football season. Spring football is about to be underway. Of course, the spring football game. And as we get closer, Coach, if you're more than willing to come back on, hey, this platform is available if you want to promote it. If you want to do anything in terms of getting people, and I know you're doing everything with the Graves experience, Graves edition, raising money for the program. You'll be going around meeting and talking to people. So this platform is open for you, Coach, anytime you need to use it, whether it's recruiting, whether it's trying to raise money, or just getting people excited about the football season and this program to come be involved and do their part as fans and supporters. You always have that opportunity to do it here, Coach. Thank you, Perry. I appreciate it. And I need everyone Lottie Dottie and everybody to support the Graves edition. The fundraiser, it's important to give because we're trying to give these guys the greatest student-athlete experience that we can here at Southern University, and that support will allow us to do that. But I definitely appreciate it. I wanted to say about this staff, the big thing was it's all about fit. And, you want the right chemistry, and these guys fit together. And they fit together, and I took my time to make sure that we had the right people in place. And so, and I thank the board, the administration, Coach Banks. I thank everybody that allowed me this opportunity to put this staff together. I'm very appreciative for them to help me and assist me to do what we're doing, and I look forward to it, man. You hear people, you hear all the, the little shade and stuff that's been thrown. One thing about me, I'm doing the same things that the great ones did back in the day, and even coaches today. I mean, who to not hire coaches of that magnitude when you have a chance to put them on your staff?
Mm-hmm.
That baffles me. I'm not insecure. I'm not concerned. I'm not looking over my shoulder because I have great coaches who've been head coaches. If anything, they're going to help me, and they're going to help our program. So, again, it's all about giving our players the greatest opportunity to be coached by great men, to be led by great men, and get men that are champions. So, I just wanted to make that clear. I'm never afraid to surround myself around greatness, because when you surround yourself around greatness, you give yourself a greater opportunity to be great.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you for coming on this morning, being great, and telling us about the great things that's happening with the program and the coaching staff. And like I said before, look, as we get closer to spring practice, if I can get you on, we just get an update of what's going on with the program, how things going. I'll reach out to you, and you come on, you talk to us, and maybe we can continue to get some momentum with that Graves edition to get people to consistently build up, to want to give, and to ultimately give, Coach.
Right, and the thing about the Graves edition, it's all tax deductible, and it also it's in line with matching with your employer. So it's a win-win for everybody. So we'll definitely continue to push that, and as the spring progresses, I'll come back and give some updates on how things are going.
I appreciate you, Coach. And look, hey, y'all, I'm going to put it out there. I know Coach probably get tired of me sometimes because, look, I'm the first one to be quick to call and text, man. I love some Southern football, and I be trying to go directly. Coach, it be so much stuff out here floating around, and you wouldn't believe how many people, they messaging me, they calling me, they texting me.
Can imagine.
And I get so many people because they listen to the show that have football players. They send to me and say, hey, can you please forward this over to Coach? Can you please talk to the coaches? And I say, look, man, I'm just a mere voice on the radio. I don't know. We're going to see. I do my best, and that's what I always tell them. So I'm letting the people know, hey, I do try to do my best, but he's a busy man, and, of course, he's trying to get this program prepared to win championships. So you, as well as I and everybody else, please understand he is in a position to do so. So, Coach, just like that, thank you for coming on this morning, and I appreciate you for first talking with me, explaining about the staff, and as well as giving us an identity of what this program is going to be for the future.
Thank you, Perry. Thank you for having me, and you all enjoy the rest of your day.
All right,
Go
man.
Jags.
Go Jags. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We're ready to close this thing out. Stay tuned. More to Jaguar Journal.
for watching the Southern University Human Jukebox. Click here to watch more videos. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal. All right. Good morning to everybody. Thank you guys for joining. If you hear my voice, I am Perry White, host here at the Jaguar Journal. I want to thank Miss Brandy B. Harris, two-time Emmy Award winner, coming on, joining me as my guest host. She'll be back next week. She had to get out of here early today. She'll be hosting the morning news at 9 a.m. on WBRZ. So after you listen to this, head over to WBRZ and check her out at 9 o'clock a.m. this morning. And she'll be giving you all the information about what's going on here in the capital city this morning. As well as I want to thank my guy, I call him Mr. Coach Phil Smith, coming on, talking to us about the Jagathon as well as the Southern University S Club. My guy, Mark Gray, calling from the East Coast over there in D.C., talking to us about the MEAC and what's going on as they get ready for their conference tournament. Southern University head women's basketball coach Carlos Funches, Southern University head men's basketball coach Kevin Johnson, talking to us about the big game today against Alabama A&M. They'll be getting ready for the SWAC tournament starting this Wednesday and Thursday. And then, of course, Terrence Graves coming on, coach of Southern University football, the head guy in charge, talking about the coaching staff. Two former SWAC head football coaches, and Fred McNair and Willie Titan, will be on the offensive side of the ball. Fred McNair will be taking over, handling tight ends. Willie Titan, of course, working with our quarterbacks. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Good morning to everybody in Alexandria, down there in New Orleans, and everybody watching on our YouTube channel. If you're not already following us on YouTube, go subscribe right now. It gives you an opportunity to see us, gives you an opportunity to share this with people. If they didn't get a chance to listen to it on radio or listen to it live, type in the Jaguar Journal on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. And then as well as go over to our Facebook page. I know some of you guys are on Facebook. Go to our Facebook, hit the Facebook, and then hit like and follow. Like and follow us on Facebook. We'll continue to grow the platform. We'll be headed over to other spaces like Instagram, TikTok, and so many others as we continue to move forward to evolve the show, whether you're watching on the live stream or you're listening to us in person on the radio. I appreciate having you guys and your support. We're going to keep on rolling. Next, when we come back, it'll be SWAC Championship on the men's and women's side in the basketball tournament. And football things will start to take off as you're looking at the spring football practice. So once again, follow us on our Facebook and hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Jaguar Journal. As simple as that. And go over at 9 o'clock and check out Miss Brandy B. Harris at WBRZ. Want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, and my man Mike making it work today, man. Mike made it work. Hey, he got in here and got it going. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be back next week at the same time, the same place. As always, I'm Perry White, and it's the Jaguar Journal. What's going on, everybody? I am Perry White. I'm the host of the Jaguar Journal. I want to make sure that you guys tune in live each and every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 107.3 FM. We also have our affiliates in Alexandria, Louisiana, as well as down in New Orleans. And if you're not able to catch us on radio live, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as follow us on Facebook. It's the Jaguar Journal.